Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. Look, this is going to be a quick and dirty sort of video. Just a real quick look at the Ozito 2400 watt garden mulcher. When I picked this up, picked it up second hand off one of the local second hand things, Gumtree. Anyway, when I went to look to see if there's some information online, etc. about it, there wasn't a heap. So I just wanted to give you a quick view, a quick look at it, and just show you what it's capable of. You can see here, I've got a garden which is lots and lots of trees and stuff around it, so it requires quite a bit of maintenance and quite a bit of trimming, and then obviously dog there. I've just cut some of that down a few days ago, and obviously just lots of other stuff that I've just trimmed back, so you can see I've got a bit of a pile happening in the corner there. A lot of the bigger stuff I'll use for having a bit of a fire out in the backyard, but I like to get rid of a lot of this shrubbery and the leaves and stuff like that. Now, for these things to have the best results, what you actually want to do is have this dried out. Now, this stuff hasn't dried out enough. You can see it's still fairly leafy and fairly green. This sort of stuff is ideal once all the leaves have fallen off. So obviously I can chuck this stuff up the back here in the corner. All the leaves will fall off, turns into mulch, and spread it around. If it hasn't completely gone dry, you'll find it won't always break up what you're trying to mulch, and you'll get this sort of result. But look, I'm happy with this. Ultimately, all I want to do is break that pile that I've got down in the corner and break it up, and then I'll spread it around the garden. Obviously, it's coming into the cooler months, so it'll sit there and just degrade over the months, and give me a bit of extra coverage. Because normally during the summer months, these trees, I'm cutting them back all the time. It's a constant battle to keep up with them during the summer months as they grow. So I'm figuring I'll get into the garden and I'll make some hay while the sun doesn't shine, or shines less, and we'll cut these back. So this is it. Not much to it. Reasonably heavy sort of unit. It does come on wheels, on and off button, and this is your reverse. So if you get stuck, if something gets jammed, turn it off, flick it into reverse, and that'll reverse the motors, and it'll actually spit back out whatever it's got jammed. Put that back there. On the top, this is your feed point. This hole here, which is probably, I don't know, call it a couple of inches give or take, is obviously the largest you're going to feed through here. You're not going to get anything in there that's any bigger than this hole here, and obviously this will allow for leaves and stuff to pull in. Pretty sure you can't see in there, but we'll have a go. There we go, that's where it catches. So this roller will roll this way. I'm not sure if that makes sense. And there's a solid point there. So when you're feeding, you need to feed it into that section, which is pretty much in line with this. If you don't get that, it'll just crunch and crunch and crunch, and it won't actually suck it in. It won't go anywhere. There we go. So we'll give you some quick demonstrations of how she works. And obviously it's pretty straightforward. Eyewear, just in case. So obviously small stuff is not an issue for it. Again, the diameter of this is not, not obviously on the limit. So it's probably about 5 foot long, give or take, maybe a bit more. And probably getting to that limit of the diameter. So there, yeah, so she's just going to go in. Okay, something like that. Okay, so what you'll find is if you get a junction, like a V-piece, sometimes it doesn't want to feed through here. So you can see it's had a go at that, but obviously it doesn't like that V-piece there. So we'll just split that and we'll throw it back in. I'll have another go at that. And you'll see she does that, no problem. And just one thing to note is if obviously you're doing a lot of leaves and you're not really, like I said, drying it out before you put it through the mulcher, you'll get a lot of this. So obviously I've got a lot of leaves. Hopefully you can see that. so she'll clog up. So every now and then you just have to get down here and push under and just pull it out. Obviously with the machine off, you want to get your hand caught in there. I'd hate to think of what that would do to it. Let's give it a quick clean out. And there we go. So as you can see, she's a fairly hefty unit and she does pretty well. This is what it made of those larger pieces. You can see where it's chopped through there. If it doesn't quite break it, again, if that was dry, that'd be no issues. But again, look, with this bigger stuff, when it comes through like this, I'll grab this and throw it over on the firewood pile, and that'll dry out, and it's great for starting fires and that sort of stuff. Obviously it burns up really well, and then everything else, whilst it's still a little bit wet, will get spread out through the garden. So there you go. I think that might be that large piece there. So on the fire pile, and the rest of it will get spread out through the garden, and it's no longer a big pile in the corner. So we go. So that's the Ozito 2400 watt mulcher, and yeah, available at Bunnings and all that sort of stuff.